Good morning, Jessica here from Stitching Colours, and welcome back. And Luna, as usual, is here. Today is the 16th of March 2024 and I'm here for another update. I haven't done a huge amount of stitching over the last couple of weeks, but I was away at the Christchurch retreat last week, well I should say last weekend, and I just haven't done much stitching, so even I was surprised when I did the numbers. We'll start with what I've worked on over the last couple of weeks, and then I'll show a few little purchases I made at the retreat, and then at the end I will show some pictures of the finishes and things like that that people were working on. It was a spectacular weekend and I saw a lot of amazing pieces and a lot of different variety of pieces, which is really good to see. Even embroidery and all those kind of things. It was really cool. So definitely would recommend going if you have an opportunity to go to a retreat near you. You meet a lot of people, do more talking than stitching, but it's really interesting. So we'll start with the top of my pile in my lap here, which is Archer. So this is a pain-free crafts piece based on the artwork by Ismira. Running a complete blank there for a moment, but anyway, so this piece had 1432 stitches over the last couple of weeks. Not hugely great, but I didn't work on it last weekend and it got a little night just to get a little bit of progress on it. So here's where we're at now. You should have already seen where it was at last time. I'm really happy with how it's coming along. I just wish I'd gotten a little bit more progress on it this week, but life goes how it is. Okay, so you can see, let's not have these all collapse. Okay, I was working on this page in here. So a little bit of the background and the arm of her that's under the sleeve of her dress. So it's coming along. So this is stitch 1/1 on 25 count. And for reference, in case I forget to mention it throughout this place, this video, all my full coverages are on 25 count 1/1, and I have one non-full coverage to show, but we'll come to that later. Okay, the next piece I have is my relatively new start mini Red Queen Red Dragon. So this is the piece I started for the Leap Day stitch along, start along, to be finished by the next Leap Day in 4 years time. So this one got 565 stitches and is starting to bulk out a little bit more in the corner. You should have already seen where you saw it last time, and here is where it is at now. So this is based on the artwork by Elena Lazareva, and so I'd done the top row of boxes last time, and so I've just added in these in here. So I'm really happy with that, and I still love the colours and the way these cherry blossoms are coming through. It's really cool to work on something a bit more bright and colourful, especially as we head into winter. Okay, The next one I have is one that hasn't come out this year so far, and that is a, oh sorry, Mini Red Queen Red Dragon is the Heaven and Earth Designs piece. Yes, and so this next one that hasn't come out so far this year is Searching for God, which is a Gecko Rouge piece, and you can clearly tell how long it's been since I've worked on it because I'm running a complete blank on who the artwork is based on. It should be in my book here, you would think. Hang on. Aha. Jonas Jodike. So this, I closed my book, didn't I? This one got 611 stitches on it. So you should have already seen where you saw it last time, but here is where it's at now. So what I was working on was this page in here. So you may or may not remember, but I've done the first 2 pages on the top row of pages, and then I decided to go down and do the next 2 on the second row of pages, just because it should get a little bit lighter and have a bit more definition and color changes, because there's a lot of dark blacks, blues and browns in there, so I was hoping for a bit more color, but we'll see how that goes. I know it goes more bright in the middle where the people are, but I'm just not sure how far I have to go to get to that. But so then the next one I have is the Heaven and Earth Designs 2024 Stitch Along. So we're not far away from getting the second part of this released. And hang on, sorry about the rustling. Luna was playing with the plastic of something to show you later on. Right, so back to this. We should be getting the next part of the Heaven and Earth Designs Stitch Along for 2024 very shortly, and the start of next month. So I've been trying to I got a little bit more progress on it, and it's coming along. This one is the fairy tales based on the snippet from Cairo Marashite, and so this is the fox that I've got. So this got 758 stitches. So you should have already seen where you saw it last time. Here's where we're at now. I was working along the top of the second page, just trying to get a bit of that filled in. So yeah, it's a lot of background that I was working on. I didn't really get anything on the actual fox, but that's not far away. So everything across from about here to this direction is all fully filled in on this top row. So it's looking really cool. And this is using CXC threads. So it is in some ways a little bit thicker, but it's coming together quite nicely. And there may have been a little bit of misunderstanding from my last video. I think I tried to clear it up in a few of the comments, but it was available to purchase the other dragon snippet for $10, which is the price that we paid for the sale in the first place, which for a few of us, at least I know, it was kind of like, well, if you finish the 4 pages in the cell of the piece that you chose, you get the other charts in the cell for free. So is it really worth a $10 charge for a chart? I wouldn't call it that, because if you do those for 4 pages, it works out as $1 per chart. So I think a lot of people were kind of a bit put off by that, and also the lack of warning, I will say. Given 3 days for some people that don't have that amount of money sitting in their back pocket, especially in the Northern Hemisphere, you guys are coming out of winter. Winter is in many ways the most expensive month, and that does coincide with Christmas and everything like that for you guys, which isn't the best. It just means there's a lot of costs in that time of year. Not quite so much for us, it's kind of spread out a little bit more. We're going into autumn now, and I've definitely noticed a change in the weather, but yeah, I'm still not all that impressed with it. But that is a personal thing, and I will get over that. So yeah. Okay, moving on. The next piece I have is the Lackadaisy Card Shark, and this is one of the pieces I took to the retreat in Christchurch. I figured if all else failed, I could get some 310 done in the outer border, and I did get quite a bit of that done. I also in the evenings got a bit of the confetti on her done. So this is another Heaven and Earth Designs piece, and this is based on the artwork by Tracy Butler. So you should have already seen where you saw it last time, but here is where we're at now. It is awesome. She's really starting to come together. So I didn't, yes, this corner is the top right corner. Yes, the top right corner. So I've got the first 2 corners now, so I will very shortly be able to snip off all of this extra fabric that I've got here for some unknown reason and make this a little bit more manageable. I've got quite a bit of this 310 done across the top a little bit, and I'm really glad to see that other corner. So there's a fairly big chunk of a 310 probably that goes about from there to there all the way down the piece, much like there is on this side. So yeah, I got a bit more done on her ear, as you can see, and those peacock feathers. So I'm really happy with how that ear is coming along, and it gets me really excited for once I get into the more middle section and how that will come together. Okay, and I've got 2 more pieces. They definitely did fall off my lap when I was showing that one, so that's alright. Okay, the other piece I took to the retreat was the flag. I thought, again, it's a pretty simple, straightforward piece. I could work on it relatively easily. Yeah, no, it wasn't that simple, and it didn't get as much progress as I'd hoped, but that's all right. The Lackadaisy Card Shark got 2,700 stitches. The flag got 505, and that was the first day of the retreat, and I was really happy with that. So here's where we're at now. So this one is stitched on 32 count over 2 using Silks for You silks. So these are hand dyed, and I just chose some relatively good matches to the DMC colours that were offered. And as I did mention last time, I am going to be filling it in and squaring it off and not doing the hard grid lines between each of these little box motif thing tiles. So yeah. Okay, and the last piece, which I am very excited to show. This is the Halloween Afghan, which is a Stony Creek piece, and there are a few of us working on it. So Stitching Addicted is doing it, and she is approximately in the same area as I am. Enchanted Stitching is on the top row on page 3, I believe, possibly 4. She's on one of the first bird. I'm sure there's a few others. Stitching Big Things with Harley is also doing it. She's been working on it a while. But yeah, so this one is worked. I think it's on 28 count, and I'm stitching it over 2 using CXC threads. So I think I'm on page 8 at the moment. So I worked on this Thursday night, and I planned to work on it last night, but I had a bit of a road trip yesterday. Got home and went, I could do with a 20-minute nap first. It would just brighten me up for a few hours and I can get a few hours of stitching done. I woke up 5 hours later and then went, yeah, no, I'm going back to sleep. It's been a long couple of days, so I feel like I've spent more time in the car than anything. So here is where I'm up to now. I hope I'm in frame. Can't see if I'm not. So this is on a grey Lugana rather than the charted for 20 count. I decided to do it over 2 on the 28 count, just to make it a little bit more smaller, a little bit easier to work with. Can I just get to the point where I can make sure? Yeah, it definitely must be in frame. So I worked on finishing those 2 stars from the page above, and then I started the next flag pennant, which was the second L. So this one got, where's my book gone? Ah, behind my flag. This one got 1120 stitches on it. So I'm really happy with the progress. It's just getting to the point that I'm gonna go, how am I gonna show this? Once I get to the next row of pages, things might be a little bit more complicated. So let's just, for the moment, do this. Much more manageable for now to show. So when I did this pumpkin here, I stepped a little bit into the next row of pages just to get the pumpkin finished, and I'm doing that with all the flag pennants as well because they do stretch a little bit into the next row of pages. So yeah, and I'm very excited to, in many ways, see the weather cooling off a bit more and that I can work on this, so it will get a little bit more progress and focus for a while now, until it starts to warm up again, because there's a lot of fabric here and it is quite heavy sitting on my lap, and in the middle of summer that was not a great thing. So I'll probably be able to work on it until just after Halloween in October. After that it'll probably go away for another 5 months, just while we're at our peak of weather for the year, and then we'll see how that goes. So I'm hoping to get down to the next row of pages, but we'll see how we get on. I'm just really excited and happy to be working on it again. It is so much fun and so easy to stitch. I think that's because it's got some relatively large areas of colour, but also I know a lot of people have had huge counting issues with these pennant flags, so it's just one of those things. I guess because of the size of them, it is easy to make those kind of mistakes, and sometimes not that easy to fix. So you'll probably see this one coming out again next time, because I really want to get that flag finished. That was my plan last night, but it just didn't happen. All right, so the retreat was great. So I flew up there on the Friday afternoon and then flew back on the Sunday evening. And I had a little rental car, which was great because it was about 25 minutes out from the airport. And it also just meant if I wanted to go shopping, I could just duck out and go sort it out. It was very much a different experience this time, which was great. I think because I knew a bit more what to expect, it was a bit more relaxed, and I guess I was able to make use of it a lot more. The first one, I was very much sitting at my table, stitching away, chatting with the people at my table and anyone who came over to visit. I didn't actually do much venturing out to see what other people were working on, and I would definitely recommend going down the path of going around and having a look-see if you haven't already been to your first retreat or anything like that. It is amazing just seeing the way people are stitching, and you can get a few ideas and see their setup and have a bit of a chat with people. It's great. And that's coming from someone who is in many ways a bit of an introvert, but I kind of just have to be not so much of an introvert for work, so I've kind of just gotten used to forcing myself in many ways to communicate, and the more I do it, the easier it is. So it was definitely a lot less nerve-wracking. I knew a few people and such from the last retreat, and it was just luck that where I sat down there was a couple of people there from the Dunedin retreat last year, so quite fun. And it was amazing just seeing the changes that or I should say the different projects that people were working on now versus last year, and the difference between going and stitching monogamously versus having multiple whips. So it was great. I did not do a huge amount of shopping. I did buy a few project bags for my mum, and so you'll see those probably in her next video, although one of them I got her was a very early birthday gift that she got, because I'm not sure I will see her again before her birthday. So she's got it now, and you may or may not see it, possibly if you beg. For anyone out there that does watch her videos, she might be inclined to show you, possibly. You'll just have to hope for the best. So I bought 3 for myself. So the first one I bought is this really cool one with ice skates, and it's blue, and gifts and things like that. And in it, it did have another little, like a notions bag, and also a scissors pouch, but they've already been allocated elsewhere. I didn't even have the time to wait for that. I just went, oh, I could use this somewhere. So yeah. The second one I got, I should show one more thing about this. It has got the key, not the key, the zipper tag on it is an ice skate. I have no idea where she managed to get these charms, but they are awesome. They are really solid bags, and this one's got pink polka dots on the middle, and really sturdy and amazing quality. So the second one that I got distracted by is this really cool one with the underwater theme. So it is very cool, and the little charm on it is an anchor for the zipper, which is really cool. So this one came with a notions bag, which is the same size as the other one that's already been claimed, and so it's just got blue fabric on the inside, but again, really cool. And this one, the tag on it is a little I can't think of what it is, but it's a boat steering wheel. So yes. Okay, and the last one I purchased was a Christmas one. So this was just the bag by itself, but it was also very cool. And it is a Santa one. So the charm for this one is a little gold Santa, which matches the zip, which is really cool. And inside it is some red with white and black and gold snowflakes. The ocean ones are blue, a light blue inner, so it was really cool. So those were purchased from Judith, and I am very, very, very happy with them. So I can't wait to put projects in them, but there's a downside to that, because I've said that I will only start new projects while I've got empty project bags. It's a slippery slope when I can just buy them or make them myself. Highlands. Isn't it, Bubby? So that's 3 new projects I can theoretically have. There you go. Oops. The thing that Luna was wrestling earlier, sorry about the wrestling, it continues to be, is the Christchurch retreat piece, which from my understanding is based on some of the buildings that remain on the old Regent Road. So these are some of the buildings that were pre-earthquake, and have a lot of historical value. So here is what they are. Unlike the Dunedin one, I couldn't instantly place it. So part of the pack, you had the choice of linen, even weave, or Aida, and I chose linen for this one. So it came with 32 count linen, and it came with a thread, all the threads and everything on it as well. So I've yet to start that one. I really should start it quite shortly, I guess. But then I haven't started the Dunedin one either, and that was a year ago. So we're not off to a good start. So yeah, my little road trip yesterday was to Queenstown and back. So that's 3.5 hours each way. 7 hours driving total, not taking into account roadworks. So that was fun. And the day before, on Thursday, I did another little road trip, which was 2 hours and 20 minutes each way. So when I came back and went on my little nap and then went, yeah, it's a few hours later than it should be, I went, okay, I can understand it. I definitely needed the sleep. So it's alright. I will get some more work on those pieces in the Afghan coming up over the next couple of weeks. So I've been debating how to show you these, but what I've got left is some pictures from the brag table of all the finishes. There were some spectacular finishes. I'm not sure I got all of them photos of all of them, because from day to day the pieces were changing. I felt like almost on an hourly basis that you'd just about go, oh, I haven't seen that piece before. When did that arrive? Just as people changed them out and things like that. There was an amazing one of what the old cathedral in Christchurch looked like before it was pulled down due to earthquake damage. So what I think I'll do is you'll just see a little slideshow now of all of the spectacular finishes and things like that that people have been working on. And yeah, I probably won't come back and say goodbye, so goodbye to everybody. Just hang around and you'll see the little photos and things like that. If not, I will see you in another couple of weeks. Alright, thank you for joining me, and I hope all is going well in your world and that you get some time to do some stitching. Alright, thank you. Bye.